Hello Kyle's Garage viewers, and welcome back to an unboxing. As you see behind me, got some goodies from Harbor Freight, one of my favorite stores of all time. Today the unboxing is going to be the 5.7 amp 6-inch variable speed dual action polisher. It's a DA, it's not a random orbital. I'm not 100% certain what makes them so different. Like, I know the DA part goes around and the actual pad spins, so I don't know what makes dual action from orbital any different. Maybe I should look it up, I don't know. Anyway, we're going to be unboxing that mainly. I also grabbed up a, cutting foam pad, polishing pad. I also got the extended service plane. I always do because I'm one of those people. And surprisingly enough, at Harbor Freight, they actually carry Meguiar's, and that's awesome. So we got our finishing polish that we'll be using with the blue pad, and we also have our ultra cut compound for our, our cutting pad. Makes sense. I also grabbed a couple microfiber towels for wiping off any residues, and I got this beverage at my local store. Right here behind me, I have the Bronco. I love you, Betty. But we're working on Betty, but not really working on Betty. I don't know if I'm going to use this hood or what hood I'm going to actually use, but as you can see, you can actually tell just from that angle right there. That is atrocious. That paint job is nasty. And yeah, I'm using this hood because, well, one, I have it, and two, it's literally the worst shape hood I have besides that one over there, which, anyway, so we're gonna, what I want to do is kind of clean up this section here. You can polish it up, and I'm going to avoid actually down here because I don't want to ruin my pads. I still want them to live to clean another day. But yeah, I'm going to try to clean some of this up, and that'll be the test that I'm going to do after the unboxing. Alright, let's do this thing. Maybe I should look at the packaging a little bit. Okay, actually this one has a slide switch on it, and the more expensive model, the 7 amp model, has a handle on it with a trigger, and the dial switch feels better on that other one. The other one, the more expensive one, was the one I wanted, the 7 amp one, but they were sold out of them, so we're going to do this one, and then probably, well, I'd hope at some point getting the nicer one and compare it. That would be really cool. But I think that's really about the only thing going on. Apparently, yeah, it comes with a pad. I'd hope so. I mean, the pad to actually attach the pad to the pad. Okay. Get that off the side. Got some toolage. Got some instructions. Box gone. Alright. And just as always with these higher quality, especially the Bauer Harbor Freight stuff, I've noticed, the cords are really nice. Like, the rubber feels, it's like, super pliable, I guess. Not like, that hard vinyl cords you get with some other cheaper things. And the cord is actually pretty long, like really long. Holy crap! That's nice. That's a lot of cord. I'm happy with that. Of course, you got your handle and your tools. Nothing too fancy about that. Came with an extra set of brushes. That is, that's odd, I guess. Okay. Okay, and then here's the tool itself. See, it already has a pad on there. Good deal. And what I mean about dual action is this part spins, but the motor makes it oscillate like that. But the orbital sanders do the same thing. So I don't know. I need to really actually look it up on what's going on and why orbital is different than dual action. It's got this little slide wheel. Like I said, this one feels actually a little bit cheap, this little speed controller here, compared to the more expensive one, which I only touched the display model, but I wanted the real one. They wouldn't sell me the display, I asked. And this has this locking side switch here. They're okay, but having a trigger is just so much nicer and easier on your hands to hold. You got a little extra leverage. And to take the disc on and off on this, that DA part that I was talking about, let me see if I can get this, see that little counterweight come around? And that's also how you tighten it up. You stick your little wrench in there and tighten it up that way. I just checked and made sure it was tight. We're good to go. But yeah, that's that dual action. But yeah, let's go start using this thing. Let's test it out. Alright, I got you guys set up here so you can see my overhead light and you can actually see the flag in the background. So I'm going to concentrate on working in this area and hopefully before your eyes everything gets nice. This is that cutting pad that I was going to use. The foam feels like foam, I guess. I don't really, not too much fanciness going on there. This was one of their cheaper ones, but screw it. Let's see how this Harbor Freight thing gets on. You know, obviously on a car that you actually care about really a lot, the paint and stuff, you would have clay barred this to get any other things off, like this thing over here. I don't know if you can see it, but that could probably be cleaned off, clay barred off, whatever that is, tree sap or whatever, but this is not for that purpose. This is just to see if this stuff, how this buffer work or polisher works, and how the Harbor Freight pads do. Using the Ultra Cut this time. That'll probably make a glorious mess. Okay. Another thing about this dial wheel, I was just noticing as I was holding onto it, I was actually increasing speed on accident with my palm as I was holding onto it, like this. So that's kind of stupid. I mean, it's looking better, but even from this distance of the camera, you can clearly see it's just gross. So I'm going to continue with the Ultra Cut and see if I can't get some more of that out. I know I didn't do it for very long, so let's continue on. Okay, so I know that the paint is in terrible, terrible, terrible shape, but this is a buffer review, and so far I'm happy. I've already adjusted my hand so I don't hit the stupid dial wheel. Just hold a little more on the here than on the butt of it, but yeah, it's doing so far so good. The paint's in really terrible shape. I'll get a close-up before I go to the polish, and we'll try to polish it up and see how much different the pad feels in the other compound. Alright, going with the polishing pad, the foam does feel much smoother than the orange one. Feels like freaking foam though, you know, how do you explain that? But and then I'm of course using the ultra finishing compound with a very light cut rate, as well as this also has a very light cut rate. So I should polish this permanently screwed up paint anyway. So let's go on. Okay, so polishing, I mean, it definitely darkened the black, but of course this paint is permanently screwed. I mean, just the amount of contaminants and stuff that have been jammed into this paint over the years, it's just, you know. But look at that, you can actually see the reflection of, you know, everything in there. You can see my phone, see my ugly face, I'm sure. And then the overhead lighting, of course, you see that flag like really well. Like, it's got good depth. And when using the polish pad and the polish, it definitely feels like it glides really well. But yeah, I'm really going to be wanting to see what this does to, you know, some nicer paint. You know, not this 30-year-old had everything under the sun baked into it. It's like just water etched beyond belief. Like, there's just heat checking and pits, and that's something that buffing and polishing cannot really take care of. This needs a repaint. So yeah, the 5.7 amp polisher, there it is. I used it, I tested it, I unboxed it. It's alright. I really wanted to get my hands on the top of the line one that they had from Bauer, which is the 7 amp with the trigger. And excuse me. And yeah, I don't know, if I'm going to give this thing a rating on it, you know, out of 5 stars, probably going to have to be like a 4, because is good. I need to test it further, but first impressions, 4 stars out of 5. Does what I need so far. I mean, it brought that depth into that paint. I mean, the paint is junk, but it brought depth back to it, so I'm pretty happy. The buffer itself felt really good. The motor felt really good. The dual action felt good. But yeah, where my hand sits on that dial wheel, it's just silly. You accidentally bump it and you move your speed. It's just annoying. With the trigger switch, that doesn't really happen. And not only that, is a trigger handled item is usually more comfortable to hold anyway. And a lot of times you can be going for a long time with one of these things, and it'll wear you out. But anyways, that's my take on it, guys. That's the Bauer 5.7 amp dual action polisher from Harbor Freight. But till next time, guys, take care. I'll see you next time.